everything to make sure the audio is working, and after that we will get on with the show. Running about 6 minutes late. This is my midnight edition for the wonderful world of weirdness, and I'm waiting for Rumble to kick in. Gotta check out YouTube out, make sure that the live stream is in the right playlist, and I'll put a thumbnail on there so that we got a thumbnail going with it. And after that, we will be ready to go. Let me figure out where that actually is. There we go. Found it. Okay, so that's set up. Let's hear the audio. Okay, so we have good audio there. Kick is up and running. And let's see if Twitch is working. Nope. It's had enough with us. It's done for the night. So I don't even think I have Twitch actually set up on there. Alright, so it's up and running on Rumble as well. So yeah, we're good to go. Yeah, I don't think I do have it set up for Twitch. Excuse me. Would have been nice if I could have gotten that sorted out. Yeah, it's offline. It's done for the night on Twitch. So let's see what X is doing. See if we've got it up on X. Yeah, there we go. X sounds good, and we are ready to go. So I'm doing my countdown, and we will get on with the show. Had to run in and get my coffee and get things going. So after that, I will do the show. So here we go. 3, 2, 1, now. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Esoteric Agenda. I'm Roger Hanson, and I will be your host here on the wonderful world of weirdness as well as strange stories on YouTube. Now, with that being said, this is going into our 7th episode for our second, or no, technically this is our first season. The 15-minute videos that I've been putting out actually come from a bunch of older content that I had that I wanted to save, so I put it together. Now this is fresh, so technically it's the first season. So with that being said, we are on the 7th episode for the first season of official season of Esoteric Agenda. Now, last week I kind of got more into Aphrodite and star offerings, things of that nature, rituals and stuff like that, and how well, the best way to say it is with Magica. Okay, Magica, Magicae is how they said it back in the day, and it was spelled Magicae. No, Vocis Magicae is actually the word. It is VOCESMAGICA. And we were talking about the whole thing about chastising spirits and how that worked in the world of magic. So from that point, I want to continue on when it comes to this. This kind of goes off into a different direction, and I wanted to do that so that I can get on with more areas when it comes to esoteric beliefs. And I'm more into the older school ideas uh, of the esoterics. Now, unlike a lot of popular belief, there is a lot of Judaism when it comes to the esoterics. If you really want to find out a lot about that, I suggest that you go and check out another channel too called Esoterica. It's got a lot of informative information on there, and you can find out a lot about what I'm about to discuss. Some of it hasn't been discussed. This is stuff that not too many people know about, even though I've been discussing a lot of things that a lot of people on YouTube really don't know about. It's more, when you get on a lot of these videos, it's more trendy, basically. They go according to the trend rather than research and stuff like that. And I'm more of a research kind of person, so I, uh, I go off into areas that a lot of people don't really discuss. So, with that being said, let me go ahead and get on with the topic. Now, the Bajua is an ancient and enduring symbol that lies at the heart of Chinese metaphysics, philosophy, and practical arts such as Feng Shui, or Feng Shui, and martial disciplines. The word Bajua translates as 8 trigrams. These trigrams are sets of 3 lines, each of which can be either solid or broken. A solid line represents yang, the active, bright, and masculine principle, while the broken line represents yin, the receptive, dark, and feminine principle. When arranged in groups of 3, these lines form 8 unique figures. Each figure, or trigram, carries specific associations with natural forces, directions, family roles, and cosmic principles. According to Chinese traditions, the origin of the Bagua is attributed to the culture hero Fu Qi, or Fu Xi, who is said to have lived in prehistoric times. Fu Xi is described as a wise sage who observed the patterns of nature in the sky and on the earth. Yeah, on the earth. Through his insight, he discerned the fundamental structure of the cosmos and expressed it in the form of the trigrams. These symbols reflected the interplay of the 2 great forces of yin and yang and provided a map of change and balance in the world. Over time, the trigrams became central to the I Ching, or the Book of Changes, one of the oldest and most influential texts in Chinese thought. The I Ching uses hexagrams, which are formed by combining 2 trigrams as the basis for its guidance on how to act in harmony with the changing circumstances of life. Each trigram of the Bagua represents a distinct aspect of reality and natural energy. The trigram Quin or Qian, whichever way you say it, Qian, composed of three unbroken lines, signifies heaven, strength, and creative force. It is associated with the father figure that and embodies the purest form of yang energy. In contrast, the trigram Kun, made of three broken lines, symbolizes earth, receptivity, and nurturing. It is linked with the mother figure and embodies the essence of yin. Other trigrams include Zen, which represents thunder and arousing force, Zun, Xun, which signifies wind or wood and gentle penetration. Then Kan, which is Kan, which stands for water and danger or depth. Then Li, which represents fire and brightness. Then Gen, which symbolizes mountain and stillness. And Dui, Dui, which stands for lake and joy. Each of these trigrams is connected to a cardinal or intercardinal direction, a season, and various elemental and symbolic meanings that reflect the qualities they embody. The trigrams are arranged in two primary sequences known as the earlier heaven and later heaven arrangements. The earlier heaven arrangement attributed to Fuxi depicts a cosmic and ideal order. It reflects the balance of forces as they exist in their purest and most harmonious state before the interplay of time and change. This arrangement is used in certain meditative and ritual contexts where the focus is on aligning with the original unity of the cosmos. The later heaven arrangement, associated with King Wen of the Zhou dynasty, shows the order of the trigrams as they manifest in the cycles of time, nature, and human affairs. The sequence is practical and dynamic, used in divination, feng shui, and other applications where the concern is with understanding and working with change in the world, in the temporal world. In the feng shui, the bagua serves as a tool for analyzing and enhancing the energy of space. A bagua map is overlaid on the layout of a building or a piece of land, dividing it into 8 sectors plus a central area. Each sector corresponds to one of the trigrams and governs an aspect of life, such as wealth, health, fame, relationships, career, knowledge, family, or children. By identifying the trigram and its attributes that rule each area, practitioners of Feng Shui seek to harmonize the flow of qi, or life force. They may recommend adjustments in placement, structure, color, or material to promote balance, prosperity, and well-being. The use of bagua in Feng Shui reflects the ancient belief that human life is deeply interconnected with the forces of the environment and that harmony with these forces brings good fortune. The Bagua also plays a significant role in Chinese martial arts, particularly in the internal style known as Baguazhang, or 8 trigram palm. This art emphasizes fluid, circular movements, constant change in direction, and the cultivation of internal energy. The philosophy of Bangguazhang mirrors that of the trigrams. The practitioner must remain adaptable, responsive, and able to shift between opposing forces as circumstances require. The movements of Bhagwasam or Hong are said to reflect the continuous transformation and interaction of yin and yang, and mastery of the art involves both physical skill and deep understanding of these principles. The concept of raquia or raquia, Raqia, occupies a central place in ancient Hebrew cosmology and forms part of a wider tradition of Near Eastern views about the structure of the universe. The word Raquia appears in the Hebrew Bible, especially in the creation narrative found in the book of Genesis. The term is typically translated into English as firmament, expanse, or dome. Its meaning is tied to the verb "raqwa", which means to spread out, to beat out, or to hammer into thin plates, as one would do with metal. This imagery suggests that the raquia was envisioned as a vast solid structure that was stretched across the primordial waters to divide and organize the cosmos. In Genesis, the raquia is created by God on the second day. Its purpose is to separate the waters above from the waters below. The narrative describes how the primeval waters were divided by the firmament, creating a space where life could exist. The waters above the raquia were envisioned as a celestial ocean or reservoir, while the waters below formed the seas, rivers, and subterranean waters of the earth. The creation of the raquia marked the first major act of differentiation in the otherwise undivided chaos of the initial creation, establishing an ordered universe. The raquia served not only as a divider but also as a part or as a support for the heavenly bodies. According to biblical descriptions, the sun, moon, and the stars were set in the raquia to give light upon the earth, to mark seasons and days, and to rule over the day and night. This arrangement reflects the views that the firmament was a solid or semi-solid structure capable of bearing these luminaries, much as a ceiling might hold lamps. Ancient readers would have understood the raquia as a visible part of the sky, a great dome arching overhead. The concept of the raquia is closely connected to broader Near Eastern cosmological ideals. Many ancient cultures, including the Babylonians and Egyptians, described the heavens as a solid structure that kept back the cosmic waters. In Mesopotamian tradition, the sky was sometimes portrayed as a vault made of precious stone, while Egyptian texts speak of the goddess Nut arching over the earth as the personification of the sky. The similarities suggest that the Hebrew concept of raquia was part of a shared cultural understanding of the universe's architecture, adapted to fit the distinctive theology of monotheism and divine order found in Israelite religion. Later Jewish traditions included apocalyptic and mystic writings, expanded upon the idea of raquia. In some texts, it is described as layered, or multiple firmaments, or heavens stacked above one another. Each level might serve as the dwelling place for angels, or the throne of God. The uppermost heavens were thought to be the most pure and holy, the domain of the divine presence. The waters above the highest raquia were seen as the source of blessings, or something as the boundary of the scene of the created world, beyond which lay the ineffable realm of the divine. The raquia also plays a role in discussions of cosmic order and stability. By holding back the upper waters, it prevents chaos from overwhelming creation. The breaking of the raquia, as imagined in flood narratives or apocalyptic visions, represents the undoing of the cosmic order, a return to the primordial state of watery chaos. This idea can be seen in the story of Noah's flood, where the windows of heaven are opened and the fountains of the deep are broken up, allowing the waters above and below to mingle once more. In ancient Israelite thought, the raquia served as more than a physical structure. It represented the boundary between the human and divine realms. The sky marked the limit of human experience and comprehension. Beyond it lay the mysteries of God's dwellings and the hidden workings of creation. This sense of separation is echoed in the Psalms and prophetic writings, where the heavens declare the glory of God and the firmament proclaims the work of his hands. Raquia thus function as a sign of God's majesty and the ordered beauty of the world he made. Interpretations of the raquia evolved over time as understanding of the natural world changed. Ancient and medieval commentators offered various explanations for its nature, debating whether it was made of actual substance or was a more subtle kind of firmament. Some saw it as crystalline, others as made of fire or light. With the rise of scientific astronomy, the notion of a solid sky gradually gave way to models of the heavens as vast and empty space. Nonetheless, the symbolic meaning of the raquia as a marker of divine order and cosmic structure remained influential in religious thought. In later mystical traditions, including strands of Kabbalah, the raquia took an additional layer of meaning. It was seen as a part of the chain of worlds or levels of existence that link the material and spiritual realms. Raquia could be understood as a veil or partition that the soul might ascend through in its quest for union within the divine. In this way, the ancient image of the firmament continued to serve as a metaphor for spiritual journey and transformation. Admin Kadmon is a foundational concept in the mystical traditions of Kabbalah. The name Adam Kadmon means primordial man or original man. It refers to the first emanation of divine light or presence as it begins to take form and shape creation. The figure of Adam Kadmon represents the initial expression of the infinite, unmanifested divine source as it steps toward manifestation. This concept is not to be confused with the earthly Adam of the biblical Garden of Eden. Instead, Adam Kadmon symbolizes the cosmic blueprint, the archetype from which the universe unfolds. It is a symbol of pure potentiality and divine order at the very beginning of creation. In Kabbalistic cosmology, Adam Kadmon arises after the initial act of creation known as the withdrawal or contraction of the infinite light. This act, called the Tzimtzum, Tzim, is described as the process by which the boundless divine light makes space for creation to exist. Following this contraction, the light begins to re-enter the space in a measured and structured way. Adam Kadmon is the first and most subtle vessel or form through which this divine light flows. It is the intermediary that bridges the infinite with the finite, the unknowable divine with the emerging worlds of form. Adam Kadmon is not a literal figure but a symbolic structure that contains within it the totality of creation in a unified and undifferentiated form. All the divine attributes, forces, and patterns that will later unfold into distinct realms and beings are contained within Adam Kadmon in their purest and most harmonious state. In Kabbalistic text, Adam Kadmon is often described as a radiant being of light, composed of divine energy that issues forth from the source in a sequence of stages or emanations. These emanations are sometimes depicted as flowing from the eyes, ears, mouth, and other symbolic channels of Adam Kadmon, representing the ordered transmission of divine light into the unfolding cosmos. One of the key features of Adam Kadmon is that it contains within itself the arrangement of the 10 Sephirot, the divine attributes or vessels through which God's presence is made manifest in creation. In Adam Kadmon, the Sephirot exists in perfect unity and balance. They have not yet differentiated into the complex structures of the lower worlds, but they are present as pure potential, as aspects of the single, undivided light. The ideal arrangement serves as the template for the later development of the spiritual and material world. The image of Adam Kadmon is a grand cosmic form or body, as a grand cosmic form or body conveys the idea that the entire universe is structured according to a divine pattern, and that human beings reflect this pattern in their own level of existence. The concept of Adam Kadmon also carries deep philosophical and spiritual implications. It teaches that all of creation originates from a single source, and that the diversity of the world is the unfolding of a unified reality. It emphasizes the idea that the cosmos is not random or chaotic, but is rooted in a higher order and purpose. In the mystical path, contemplating Adam Kadmon invites the seeker to look beyond the surface of things and to perceive the underlying unity of all that exists. It points towards the goal of returning to that unity through spiritual refinement and alignment with the divine will. In the writings of the Kabbalists, Adam Kadmon is associated with the highest of the four spiritual worlds, the world of Atziluth, or emanation. This is the realm closest to the infinite, where the light of the source still shines with full intensity. From Adam Kadmon, the light descends through successive levels, becoming more differentiated and distinct at each stage, until it reaches the world of physical matter. This process reflects the principles of gradual manifestation, in which the hidden becomes revealed in stages, and the infinite expresses itself in finite form. The infinite expresses itself in finite form. The symbolism of Adam Kadmon has parallels in many other spiritual and philosophical traditions. The idea of a cosmic man or primordial being that contains the universe within itself can be found in ancient mythologies, in the figures of Purusha, in Vedic thought, and in the Platonic idea of a world soul. These parallels suggest that the image of the primordial man speaks to a deep intuition about the unity of existence and the divine order that sustains it. In Kabbalah, however, the concept is given a distinctive form rooted in the language of the Sephiroth and the dynamic interplay of divine light and vessels. The image of Adam Kadmon also serves as a meditation on the nature of humanity and its place in creation. Just as Adam Kadmon contains the structure of the universe, so too is each human being seen as a microcosm, reflecting in miniature and the divine order. The correspondence between the human and the cosmic is expressed in the teaching that the human soul contains within it the potential to ascend through the levels of existence and to reunite with its source. The journey of spiritual growth is thus a journey back to the state of unity represented in Adam Kadmon. In later Kabbalistic systems, particularly in the teachings of Isaac Luria, the idea of Adam Kadmon is developed further to explain the processes of creation, shattering, and restoration. According to this view, the light that emanates from Adam Kadmon enters into vessels or structures designed to contain it. However, because of the intensity of the light and the limitations of the vessels shatter, scattering divine sparks throughout the lower worlds. The task of humanity is to gather and elevate these sparks through righteous actions, prayer, and study, contributing to the repair of tikkun, or to the repair or tikkun of the cosmos. Adam Kadmon thus becomes a symbol not only of original unity, but also of the goal towards which creation strives, the restoration of harmony and wholeness. Adam Kadmon represents one of the most profound and layered concepts in the mystical traditions of Kabbalah. This figure, whose name means primordial man or original human, stands at the threshold of creation itself, representing the first expression of divine light as it begins to structure and unfold the universe. Unlike the earthly Adam of the Book of Genesis, Adam Kadmon is not a literal human being, but a vast cosmic archetype that embodies the entire potential of creation in its purest form. He is a symbol of unity, order, and the seamless connection between the infinite and the finite. The teachings surrounding Adam Kadmon serve as a gateway to understanding the deepest mysteries of existence, the nature of divine manifestation, and the human role in the cosmic order. The concept of Adam Kadmon arises in Kabbalistic thought as part of the sequence of emanation that follows the initial contraction of divine light, known as the Zitzum. According to this tradition, before creation could begin, the infinite light withdrew itself to create a space in which finite worlds could exist. This space, known as the void or hollow, was not empty in an absolute sense, but filled with the potential for creation. Into this space, the divine light began to re-enter in a measured and ordered way. Adam Kadmon represents the first and most refined vessel through which this light flows. He stands as the bridge between the infinite source and the unfolding world, containing within himself all the possibilities of creation in their most harmonious and undivided state. In the vision of Kabbalists, Adam Kadmon contains within his form the structure of the 10 divine attributes known as the Sephirot. These Sephirot represents the channels through which the divine will is expressed and made manifest in the world. Within Adam Kadmon, these attributes exist in a state of perfect unity and balance. They have not yet differentiated into the distinct and interacting forces that shape the spiritual and material realms. Instead, they are present as pure potential, as aspects of a single undivided light. This perfect arrangement within Adam Kadmon serves as the cosmic blueprints from which all of creation unfolds. The imagery associated with Adam Kadmon is rich with symbolic meaning. He is described as a radiant being of light, whose form encompasses all that is and all that will be. The divine light flows from Adam Kadmon in measured streams, issuing from symbolic points such as the eyes, ears, mouth, and other channels. These streams represent the ordered transmission of divine energy into the worlds that emerge below. This imagery conveys the idea that creation is not a chaotic explosion, but a carefully orchestrated unfolding of divine will. The light that emanates from Adam Kadmon descends through a series of stages, becoming progressively more distinct and concrete as it moves towards the world of physical matter. Adam Kadmon occupies the highest of the four great worlds described in Kabbalistic cosmology, known as the world of emanation, or Atziluth. This is the realm closest to the infinite source, where the divine light shines with full intensity and clarity. From Adam Kadmon, the light descends into the world of creation, formation, and action, each stage representing a further degree of differentiation and manifestation. This process reflects the principle that the infinite expresses itself in finite form through gradual stages of revelation. The figure of Adam Kadmon stands as the template for this process, embodying the perfect balance and unity from which all diversity emerges. The idea of Adam Kadmon also carries deep spiritual significance. It teaches that the universe is not a collection of random or disconnected parts, but an ordered whole that reflects a single divine plan. All of creation originates from the unity represented by Adam Kadmon, and the purpose of existence is to return to the unity through spiritual refinement and alignment with the divine will. For the seeker on the mystical path, contemplating, Adam Kadmon is a way of attuning to the hidden order of the cosmos and recognizing the divine presence that permeates all things. It invites one to see beyond the surface of the world and to perceive the harmony that underlies the apparent diversity of existence. In the teachings of Isaac Luria and later Kabbalists, the story of Adam Kadmon is further developed to explain the dynamics of creation, fragmentation, and restoration. According to this view, as the light of Adam Kadmon descends into the vessels prepared to contain it, the vessels prove unable to hold the intensity of the light and shatter. The shattering scatters sparks of divine light throughout the lower worlds, embedding holiness within the fabric of creation. The task of humanity is to gather and elevate these sparks through righteous actions, prayer, and spiritual study, contributing to the healing and restoration of the cosmos. Adam Kadmon thus represents not only the original unity of creation, but also the goal towards which creation strives, the restoration of harmony and wholeness. The symbolism of Adam Kadmon finds resonance in many other spiritual and philosophical traditions. The image of a cosmic human or primordial man who embodies the universe within himself appears in the myths and teachings of many cultures. In ancient Vedic tradition, the figure of Purusha serves as a similar role, as does the world soul of Platonic philosophy. These parallels suggest that the idea of the universe as a great human-like form is a deep and universal metaphor for the unity of existence. The Kabbalah, however, Adam Kadma, no, in Kabbalah, however, Adam Kadmon is given a distinctive expression through the language of the Sephirot and the dynamic interplay of divine light and vessels. The contemplation of Adam Kadma has also inspired reflection on the nature of humanity and its place in creation. Just as Adam Kadmon contains the structure of the cosmos, so each human being is seen as a microcosm, reflecting in miniature the divine pattern of the universe. The human soul contains within it the potential to ascend through the levels of existence and to reunite with its source. The spiritual journey is thus understood as a process of returning to the state of unity represented by Adam Kadmon through the refinement of character, the pursuit of wisdom, and the practice of compassion and justice. The image of Adam Kadmon has endured as a powerful symbol in mystical thought because it speaks to fundamental truths about existence. It expresses the idea that all things are connected, that creation is rooted in a single source, and that the purpose of life is to restore and rebuild the hidden unity of the world. It changes us to see ourselves, or it challenges us to see ourselves as participants in a cosmic process responsible for the work of healing and harmonizing the world around us. By meditating on Adam Kadmon, the seeker is invited to align with the divine order and to become a vessel for the light that sustains creation. Azazel holds a deeply symbolic and mystical place in ancient esoteric and apocalyptic traditions, especially in texts like the Book of Enoch and later mystical interpretations. In these writings, Azazel is not merely a name tied to a scapegoat ritual, but emerges as a powerful figure representing the transmission of forbidden knowledge to humanity and the complex relationship between divine order and cosmic transgression. The mystical traditions portray Azazel as one of the leaders of the Watchers, being of the Watcher beings who descended from the heavenly realms and broke the boundaries set by the divine by mingling with mortals. These Watchers, under Azazel's guidance, are described as having revealed secrets that were meant to remain hidden. Azazel is credited with teaching humanity the crafting of weapons, the art of war, the use of cosmetics and jewelry to enhance physical allure, and magical practices that disturb the balance of the natural world. In these mystical accounts, Azazel's teachings are not just seen as technical or artistic advancements, but as knowledge that disrupted the harmony between the human and the divine. His role as the revealer of these secrets made him a symbol of the dangerous lure of hidden wisdom when sought without reverence or responsibility. The mysteries that Azazel revealed were considered potent, their misuse bringing corruption, violence, and moral decay to the world. This portrayal connects Azazel to the archetype of the fallen teacher or the dark initiator who opens the gates to powers that humanity is not yet prepared to wield. The punishment of Azazel in these mystical narratives further underscores his significance. He is often described as being bound and cast into a desolate place, sealed away until the time of final judgment. This imagery reflects the mystical idea that creation forces of chaos and transgression are restrained within creation, kept in check until the appointed time when they will be reconciled or annihilated as part of the restoration of cosmic order. In this sense, Azazel embodies the shadow side of divine wisdom, the aspects of knowledge and power that can only be integrated after a long process of purification and return to balance. Mystical traditions, especially those of the Kabbalistic kind, sometimes interpret the story of Azazel as a reflection of the cosmic drama of the breaking of the vessels, where divine light the, shattered the early structures of creation and scattered sparks of holiness throughout the material world. Azazel's fall and the dispersion of these teachings mirror this pattern of fragmentation where pure divine energy becomes mingled with the profane, and the work of spiritual seekers is to gather and redeem these lost sparks through acts of holiness and insight. The wilderness to which the scapegoat was sent in the biblical ritual becomes, in this view, a symbol of the outer realms of existence, where unrefined energies and forces dwell, waiting to be returned to their source through spiritual labor. In later mystical and magical traditions, the figure of Azazel also comes to be associated with the rites of banishment and protection. His name might be invoked in the context of magical workings designed to cast out impurity, to separate the sacred from the profane, or to ward off malevolent influences. This reflects the enduring power of his image as a force that must be acknowledged and ritually confronted in the work of maintaining spiritual integrity. The legend of the sacred tree from the Garden of Eden and its transformation through sacred story or sacred history offers a profound and intricate narrative rich with esoteric symbolism. The story begins in the earliest moments of human existence, at the very dawn of time, when Adam and Eve walked in the midst of the Garden of Eden, surrounded by the beauty and harmony of creation. The tree of life, standing at the heart of this paradise, represented not only the promise of immortality, but the direct connection between humanity and the divine source. After the fall, when Adam and Eve were exiled from the garden, it is said that a branch or fragment of this holy tree was taken and preserved. This piece, carrying within it the essence of divine wisdom and the potential for redemption, became a sacred relic through which the hidden plan of the divine would unfold across the generations. According to this tradition, the fragment of the tree of life remained within the human lineage, passing from patriarch to patriarch as a token of the lost unity of the divine. The sacred wood bearing the memory of Eden was eventually fashioned into part of the structures of Noah's Ark. The Ark, a vessel designed by divine command to preserve life during the Great Flood, mirrored the original function of the Tree of Life. Just as the tree had been the source of life in the garden, the ark became the means of preserving life through the waters of judgment and destruction. The wood of the ark, imbued with the same holy essence as the tree, symbolized the continuation of divine mercy in the hope of renewal. In the mystical imagination, the ark was not merely a ship, but a moving temple, a sanctuary of life, guided by the hidden hand of providence through the storm of cosmic rebalancing. The journey of the sacred wood did not end with the flood. In the stories that followed, this wood resurfaced in pivotal moments of sacred history. It is told that after the floodwaters receded, the piece of wood was recovered and eventually fashioned into a staff. The staff came into the possession of the patriarchs and was ultimately passed to Moses and Aaron, depending on the version of the legend. In their hands, the staff became an instrument of divine power and authority. With it, the Red Sea was parted, water was drawn from the rock, and wonders were performed before the Pharaoh of Egypt. The staff, like the tree in the ark, served as a conduit for the force of divine will, linking heaven and earth, and reminding humanity of the source of all power and wisdom. The staff's association with the tree of life elevated it from a mere tool to a symbol of the original covenant between the divine and creation. When Aaron's staff blossomed as a sign of his chosen role, it echoed the vitality of the tree of life, a sign that even in exile and wilderness, the spark of divine life remained present and active among the people. The staff stood as a signpost in the path of return, pointing to the lost paradise of the hope of restoration. Some esoteric traditions carry the story further, tracing the journey of the sacred wood into the era of kings and temples. It is said that a piece of this wood found its way into the construction of Solomon's temple, incorporated into the threshold or some hidden part of the inner sanctum. The temple, like the garden and the ark, represented a point of connection between the earthly and the divine, a place where the presence of the holy could dwell among humanity. The inclusion of the sacred wood within the temple structure symbolized the continuation of the divine plan and the ongoing possibility of communion between creation and the Creator. In Christian mystical writings, the story reaches its culmination in the claim that the wood was ultimately fashioned into the cross upon which Jesus was crucified. In this interpretation, the cross is seen not merely as a tool of executive or execution, a tool of execution, but as the final expression of the tree of life's journey through time. The cross formed from the same wood that had once stood at the heart of Eden becomes the new tree of life, offering the promise of eternal life through sacrifice and redemption. The connection of the cross to the original tree unites the themes of fall and restoration, judgment and mercy, exile and return. The symbolism of this sacred wood is profound and layered. The tree represents the unity of creation with the divine source, the original harmony that was shattered by the fall. Its journey through sacred history mirrors the human journey through exile, struggle, and the hope of return. The wood's presence in the ark, the staff, the temple, and the cross speaks to the enduring presence of divine mercy and guidance, even in the darkest moments of history. It reminds the seeker that the material world, though fractured by sin, still carries within it the seeds of divine purpose and the promise of renewal. In mystical thought, the sacred wood is not only a symbol of historical continuity, but also a key to understanding the spiritual path. The seeker, like the sacred wood, is called to pass through the waters of purification, to serve as a vessel of divine power, to stand as a threshold between worlds, and ultimately become a living sign of the possibilities of transformation and return. The journey of the wood reflects the journey of the soul, moving through the cycles of fall and redemption, bearing within itself the hidden spark of the divine and destined to be restored to its original glory. The legend of the sacred wood invites contemplation on the interconnectedness of all moments of sacred history, the hidden patterns of providence that weave through time, and the mystery of how the divine plan unfolds through material forms. It calls the seeker to see beyond the surface of things, to recognize the sacred in the ordinary, and to trust in the hidden workings of grace that guide all creation back to its source. The sacred tree, the ark, the staff, the temple, and the cross together form a single narrative thread, a golden chain that binds the beginning and the end, the fall and the restoration, the exile and the return. So yeah, I wanted to go through that because that is very fundamental when it comes to Freemasonry. Now, a lot of people know about uh, the temple, they know about the rituals and everything that take place within the Freemasons, but a lot of people don't know that that is actually a newer um, a, a newer part of the Freemasons' belief systems, especially when it comes to the sacred wood. This is very fundamental in the original beliefs of the Freemasons. So after this, I'll dive into other aspects of that. But I wanted to share this because right now, like I said, we are on episode 7. That means we are halfway through, and I enjoy I've enjoyed it up to this point, but I do know that I need to go further into it and bring out a lot more that pertains to the esoterics. And this is the perfect area to get into when it comes to the Freemasons and secret societies and mystery schools and things of that nature. Um, I really did enjoy, or I have been enjoying this this series. To be honest with you, I've been wanting to go back and go over a lot of this stuff again, and because it's been forever since I've been able to revisit this, so I really do enjoy doing it. It feels like I'm going back to um, the original purpose of why I was doing this stuff. You know what I mean? I really, that's what it feels like. You know what I mean? That's what I actually started doing this stuff for, is to research this interesting stuff and come up with it. I'm to the point now where it's more about enjoying what I'm doing rather than worrying about the viewers and who actually wants to watch or listen to the stuff that I'm putting up. You know, I enjoy this kind of stuff, so I really feel good about doing it again. Now, before I go on, I do want to say thank you to Alan Ilibet Baby. I have a hard time pronouncing that on Kick, for stopping by and making a comment in the Kick chat. Um, I will. I wanted to do a shout out and say thank you in chat as well for stopping by. And that's what I am doing now. So with that, I don't think that I do have any more comments. I have 3 viewers on Rumble at the moment. I have 36 views on YouTube, but nobody is a current viewer, and I don't see anybody else being on there. Oh, I got 2 viewers on Kick. So um, if you guys want to check me out, you can check me out on Rumble, YouTube, Kick, X, and D Live as well. So stop by, check out my channels, and you can find me there. Let me see. I should go and check D Live too, make sure, see if anybody actually stopped in there or not. So let me do that real quick before I end the show. I'll do it. Oh, yeah, it looks like Surveillance, aka DK Spiracy, stopped in. Thanks for stopping in on D Live, DK. Appreciate it. I'll do the same to you. Did a shout out to you. If you guys are interested in this kind of stuff, he's one person that you'd like to check out on D Live. He goes by DK Spiracy 123. I want to also write thanks for stopping by in chat, and thank you very much. So like I said, you can find me on Rumble, and you can also find me on Rumble as Roger Hansen at Infamous 1973. You can find me on D Live as Roger _ Hansen. On X, you can find me as Roger Hansen at ROGLOL 1973. And on YouTube, you can find me at The Wonderful World of Weirdness, at The Wonderful World of Weirdness. I also have another channel on there called Strange Stories. So if you haven't seen this and you want to see it later on, it can be on that channel. And if you want to stop by, you can see the raw view. After I'm done with these, I usually edit them and make them into 15-minute videos, because I've noticed that a lot of people do enjoy watching 15-minute videos at a time. So I break it down, make it easier for people to watch. So if you liked what you've seen, please like, subscribe, share, make comments. Appreciate your feedback. I've also just like having comments, to be honest with you. It's something I've always enjoyed, and make comments in the comment section, because I don't know how many people are aware of it, but it really does help out. It shows the platform that the channel is active if there's a conversation going on in there. And besides that, I hate just getting, bots that are wanting me to buy subscribers or views. So hearing somebody is something that's really cool. So thank you for stopping by. I hope you guys have a good day, good evening, good night. It's my midnight, so it's kind of getting a little bit late for me. I'm getting ready to end my day. So wish me luck. And with that, I will go ahead and end the video. Thank you guys for watching, and I will talk to you later.